This is Njambiz. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I want to share a very brief story. I should probably not be saying brief because every time I say that my video ends up being long. Anyway, today I want to share a brief story about getting pregnant, finding out I was pregnant and being pregnant in campus, and the whole reason why I dropped out of my degree. If you've watched my first and second video, I did mention that I had started my economics degree but did not get to finish, and today you get to learn why. I'm feeling like a schoolgirl today because of the pigtails. We used to call them what, pussycats. But it's because I've just washed my hair. You can see even my top is a bit wet. I've just washed my hair. I want it to dry out. Anyway, don't mind the schoolgirl hairstyle. But we are talking about school, so not planned but so relevant. The year was 2014. Yes, the year was 2014. Before I even get into that whole story, let me give you a bit of a background. I joined the University of Nairobi main campus. I was doing a bachelor in economics, and part-time I was doing my CPAs, Certified Public Accountant. Yeah, if you need someone to do your taxes, holla at me. I was doing my CPAs at Strathmore part-time, so I was doing the degree during the day and the CPAs evening classes. And in 2014 is the year I finished my CPAs at the end of the year, and I was in third year of campus at that point. And it's also the same year I found out I was pregnant. So before I even get into the pregnancy, let me give you a backstory about how I met my baby daddy and how the whole situation came to be. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spill any tea out here about him. So if you're looking for gossip, you're in the wrong place. Anyway, so in my third year, we used to have this. Was it third year? In my third year, at the end of my second year, I think. Yeah, at the end of my second year, I took an internship. We had a 3-month break. Imagine, in between the semesters, which didn't make sense to me at all. Anyway, we had a 3-month break after my second year. It was from January to May. Yeah, January to May. Because we closed school in December and we were rejoining sometime in May. So in those 3 months, I decided to take an internship at a microfinance bank. And I was there for the internship for the whole 3 months. And that's where I met this baby of mine, noisemaker number 1. Anyway, and that's where I met my baby daddy. While I was working there, he was working there, I was interning, and that's where I met him. He was working there, I was interning there. We became friends, though nothing was going on at the time. We became friends because we realized we lived in the same place. So we started taking the bus rides together to work, and sometimes, no, never back because I had evening classes, mostly to work. And we started hanging out. And long story short, I finished my internship, still nothing. We were good friends. And then problems began when he was looking to move out of his parents' place. I was living alone at this time. I had my own place in the place where I'm saying we were both living in the same town. So anyway, I was living in my own place and he was looking to move out. Then the house next to mine, the person who was living there moved out. So he was looking for a place, I recommended it, and he moved in and trouble started from there. Anyway, we had a thing going when he was living next door, and we got a bit too friendly and a bit too reckless, maybe because we were seeing each other a bit too much. In fact, it was like we were practically living together because he'd sleep over at my place, I'd sleep over at his place. We spent most nights together, I think. Anyway, that's not the point. That's how the whole thing came to be. Maybe we got a bit reckless, and that's how I got pregnant. And it wasn't planned, obviously. It wasn't planned, and at the time I found out, which was at the end of 2014. In fact, I found out a few days to New Year's when I was the one hosting the New Year's bash. Let's just say that New Year's wasn't fun for me. It wasn't fun for me, but anyway, I didn't get to enjoy the party I hosted for New Year's. But anyway, obviously I freaked out. I'm in school. There's all these other things happening, and at the time I had started doing work. I was working, or rather in business with my brother, so I did have an income, but obviously it was unplanned. It was shock at first, and freaking out and trying to figure out what happens next. I'm in school, I have work, I've just finished my CPS, I have work, I have school. I'm already trying to balance these two, and I've just found out I'm pregnant. And by the time I'm expected to have the baby, I'll be in my second semester of third year. So what I decided to do was proceed with the first semester, which was ending in April of 2015, because I found out I was pregnant end of 2015. So I decided to finish the first semester, which was January to April. Then I was due in August, and the second semester spanned till August, so I decided to defer from that point because I was very sure I wouldn't be able to handle school and the pregnancy. It was a struggle as it was in the first semester, so I deferred. And I have deferred until now because after I had Kiran, there's work. Let's just say everything changed, and going back to school became a bit tedious for me because I was focusing now on my career. I have to provide for my child, so I can't choose. If I have to choose between work and school, I have to do work because I have to provide and all that. But the beauty is, this is the time I had now started properly utilizing the digital skills I was learning. So at least I was getting a career in that, even though my economics and my accounting weren't exactly in use. But yeah, so that's how I ended up deferring. Long story short, that's how I deferred from school. And I did intend to go back a while back, but circumstances and my career didn't allow, and the whole single mom thing also didn't allow. I barely had the time, so I still haven't gone back, but I'm planning to go back this year because I have to finish it. I mean, 3 years of economics, I have to finish that degree. I have to finish that degree. Plus, I want to be able to tell my son, when you start something, you have to finish it. So I have to finish it, even if I'm using totally different skill sets for my career right now. I have talked so much, I've run out of sunlight, and it's what I'm using to film. So if it's gotten all of a sudden darker, don't ask me why. Anyway, so yes, I plan to go back to school, but just a little recap again. When I was in campus, now that semester when I was pregnant, let me tell you, morning sickness really got me bad. It was bad, and I'm talking bad. So my mornings were always a struggle, which became very hard for me to focus in school. And I always had this thing of, people know I'm pregnant. Even before I started showing, like I'd always be like, they know I'm pregnant. They know I'm pregnant. They can look at me and just figure it out. They can see me and see the pregnancy, even if I'm not showing. Anyway, I was very self-aware of the fact. In fact, I had a friend who we used to walk. We had the same classes. We were doing the same degree. We used to walk together to the bus stop after classes, And every time I'd ask him, because I'd already told him I was pregnant, and every time I'd ask him, "You sure I'm not showing? Are you sure people can figure out what's happening?" What's happening and everything. Anyway, it was a struggle. It was a struggle being in campus while I was pregnant. And also our classes span for 3 hours continuously. Our units used to span for 3 hours, and this is the time now my bladder is starting to get really squeezed, and I feel like peeing constantly. So it was awkward. I would keep going to the washroom, and sometimes I try and hold it as much as I can because now I'm that chick who keeps going to the washroom. I don't know, and probably noticed, but still, when you think everyone knows. And the other thing I used to find difficult, other than the fact that we had 3-hour classes, there were days where we didn't have a break all day long. Classes from 8 to 5, no break. And I was at that point where I'm eating a lot, so I can't go the whole day without eating something. So I have to find time to dash to a shop, grab something to eat, and then come back to class. And the exam time was also stressful, because at this point I was like 5 or 6 months pregnant when we were doing the exams. The baby is already kicking, so I'm here trying to write my answers, and I can feel kicks that would just distract me. But anyway, I did manage to finish my first semester, and I knew there was no way I was gonna have the second semester, so that's already fun. And I'm glad I did, because after all the complications I got with my pregnancy, there was no way I was going to manage. There's just no way. So I'm glad I decided to take a break. But that time was just interesting for me. Like I said, I have every intention of going back. I just don't know when. Probably this year. I'm hoping by the mid to end of this year I'll be able to go back, but that depends on how business will be faring. Anyway, so I do intend on going back eventually. It was an interesting experience, I won't lie, but we made it this far. So, and Kiran has been the best thing that's happened to me. If it wasn't for that, actually, I probably wouldn't have gotten so much into digital marketing and web design and all this tech stuff. If it wasn't for getting pregnant, I probably would have gone in the accounting direction, and I'm kind of glad I stuck. Yeah, my grammar is clearly off. I need to go back to school. I stuck to the lane of digital solutions, so that's a plus that came out of it. And my sweet adorable baby, obviously. Anyway, I may end up oversharing, but I did warn you, I am an oversharer, so if you're subscribed, you will be hearing more. Anyway, that's it for today, because I've talked a lot. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more, comment below, ask me questions, get to know me. I'll do a get to know me video, so drop some questions. What do you want to know? I'm feeling very generous in sharing the stories. So ask me anything, comment below, give me your feedback. If you have a similar experience or any experience to that line that you want to share, comment below. And as always, subscribe. We'll be having a lot more content in 2019, a lot more about motherhood, life in general, and all that. And by the way, I post digital marketing, branding, and business videos on Tuesdays. I post motherhood, life, travel, and all other general life things on Friday. So if you prefer this, Friday is your day. Anyway, subscribe, check out my playlist on motherhood and all the rest. And I'll see you next time.